Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to War on the Sea, a new game out by Killerfish Games, the developers of Cold Waters and Atlantic Fleet. We are playing as the Americans in the Operation Watchtower campaign, which is the Guadalcanal campaign from the Allied perspective, and it is September of 1942. The war isn't going great so far. We've sunk a lot of Japanese shipping. In fact, I think we've sunk all but 2 or 3 of the Japanese heavy cruisers, but we have not taken Guadalcanal. The Japanese currently have a very strong presence there, although we've been able to keep the airfield in check after some early fiascos when for a brief period of time they built it up to a level 5 airfield. But the Japanese have landed troops at Milne Bay, where we currently have a task force shielding our ground forces there. I think we outnumber them, but we're lacking supplies, so our troops are fighting at a severe disadvantage. So I do have supplies that are on the way to Milne Bay to sort of help that situation. Port Moresby is almost certainly going to fall to the Japanese. Santa Cruz Islands is almost certainly going to fall to the Japanese. And so we're in a bit of a tricky situation where the Japanese are taking some of these key islands, but there's not a lot that I can do other than fighting at Milne Bay to stop them because I don't have the resources, I don't have the troops specifically to stop them. Now, we do currently have a screening force with a battleship in front of Rennell Island, but they're low on ammo. They just finished destroying an enemy task force, so we're going to pull them back to New Hebrides to rearm and resupply. We have a C3 merchant ship here that I think these guys are carrying supply. They are, to Milne Bay, so we're going to go ahead and direct them over this way. These are the guys that triggered the game crashing bug, which, per my understanding, thanks to the help of Neuhauser, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the other person, but one other individual helped fix the save file, I believe. And so this guy's heading back toward Milne Bay. We have a battle that's being triggered for that C3, so we'll resolve that in a moment. We also have another C3 here. These guys are carrying another 1,200 troops to Milne Bay. Although I wonder if maybe it would be more intelligent to deploy them to, like, Santa Cruz just to kind of hold the island for a little bit longer. And then we have a task force here of 2 heavy cruisers and a destroyer, which destroyed a Japanese transport task force near Rennell Island, which is returning back to New Hebrides. And that's the situation we find ourselves in. We are going to go ahead and build a new task force, because I did learn since I was last playing this a little while ago, you want at least a 1-to-1 supply to troop ratio. So let's go ahead and build another task force here with, say, 4 merchant ships. And then we'll go ahead and we'll give them 3 destroyers. Although this is going to have a weird formation configuration. We're going to just do all Farragut's because those are the cheapest destroyers. So if we take a look, their formation, we're going to switch them to circular. 1, 2, and 5 should be merchants. Swap positions. Is this feels like the old... Oh, no, it didn't. Never mind. 1, 2, and 5 are merchants, and then 3, 4... I guess we'll make 3 merchant as well, so all these guys are. And then 6, 4, and 7 are destroyers, which is a bizarre formation here. But it is what it is. I wish you could kind of customize the formations a little bit more to build stuff that made more sense. We are going to throw some troops on board the destroyers just to bring a few extra soldiers to the front. We'll leave 1,000 behind just in case the Japanese slip behind us. So we'll only put troops on 2 of the destroyers. That gives another 500 or so. And then they'll begin their march out that way. Okay. So. An F-35 engineer. Nice. Well, thank you for the help. I've been seeing today on social media about how the F-35 is a big mistake and we should replace it with drones. From some folks in the defense space. I don't know if you were seeing some of those tweets from the Georgetown University Wargaming Society, Neuhauser. Or at least the individual who runs that. Alright, so let's go ahead and I guess we'll just jump into the C3 situation. I think, yeah, the sub that was triggering that issue, I believe, was deleted as part of the fix. So, there you go. We got through that bug that was tripping us up, and now we're just gonna, I think, speed through things a little bit. Okay, and then once it's daylight, I'm going to get some aircraft up immediately to try and start scouting out. We've got an enemy sub near the Santa Cruz Islands, that's fine. The thing that I'm not sure about is where their other ships are. They still do have, I think, 5 battleships or 4 battleships. We've sunk the Congo, but that's it. So despite the fact that they're out of cruisers, they definitely still have some heavy formations. And then they also are about halfway down in their submarines, but they still have a ton of destroyers, and they still have their 2 aircraft carriers. And so I think we need to be mindful of, you know, what could they be threatening Rennell Island with? We can't afford to lose Rennell Island. It's a level 2 port, a level 1 airfield, but this is absolutely our springboard to the eventual attack, and the success that we will have at Guadalcanal is entirely predicated on having a forward base to replenish our naval units at, and so we have to hold Rennell Island. Okay, and I definitely don't have the troops to fight another land battle in the event that the Japanese land troops there, so we have to stop any invasion task force out to sea. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and get some aircraft up on our cruiser task forces here to see if there's any enemy ships that we need to be aware of. Did they modify the range on these guys? Because 351 feels a little bit longer than I thought they had. You know what would be nice is if there was an option to have like a show all aircraft, like show all the courses that all your aircraft are taking. So you could more, you know, efficiently set up your patrol arcs. Also, the ability to click down would be really nice. All right. So those 2 groups are going out. Let's go ahead and call in. I think we've got... Does the Brooklyn carry aircraft? She does. So go ahead and send her aircraft up north this way. All right, and then Milne Bay has some aircraft as well. So we're really just trying to scout out the Solomon Sea to see if the Japanese have any shipping that's going to come up and potentially surprise us. Yeah, I mean, it does carry aircraft, to answer your question. We figured that out. So you can see we're patrolling the Solomon Seas very heavily. I don't have the same number of assets to patrol around the Rennell Island area. You can see we're not picking anything up. We did pick an enemy scout aircraft up out that way, so there could be cruisers or just submarines in that vicinity. Multiple enemy scouting aircraft. Unfortunately, our Wildcats are burned or are low on fuel, so I can't send anybody out to intercept, so I just have to keep ignoring those. Alright. So let's see if we can't get maybe some of our Wildcats out that way to engage and destroy enemy patrol aircraft. No, I don't want to replay Savo Island. I definitely don't. So we just detected an enemy surface task force of 3 destroyers in the Solomon Sea. Ah, what the hell? It's 3 destroyers. Let's attack them with air. I don't think we'll do anything unless I decide to kamikaze my boys, which I don't feel good doing, at least not as the Americans. That doesn't feel historically accurate. But we are going to drop our altitude. And we'll fly up this way so we can get a nice broadside shot. Okay. So there's the task force over this way. This is an older destroyer by the looks on the gun shields here. This guy's a little bit newer. I think this is one of their anti-aircraft destroyers. It only has 2 torpedo mounts, but it's got dual turreted, I think dual purpose guns. Oh, and this one is definitely a high-end destroyer with those turrets, but also 3 torpedo mounts. So we're going to go for the lead aircraft for sure, or the lead ship for sure. Also, I don't think you can actually... The way the game works is I don't think you can actually kamikaze destroyers. I think they're too low in the water. Their superstructures aren't high enough. So let's see how many strafing... Why are you guys climbing to strafe? So not sure if the intent of this Japanese task force is to actually engage us, or if it's just some sort of patrol out there. Slow up so you've got a better... 100 knots? Oh my god, you're going to be like swordfish. Oh wait, I wanted you all to go that slow. Huh. Wait, why aren't you attacking? Attack! You didn't strafe. Ooh, nice. Got a nice little explosion there aboard her. We might be able to do a fair bit of damage to destroyers with only destroyers firing flak against us. We didn't lose any aircraft in that initial pass. I don't even think any of them are smoking. Although we don't carry a ton of ammo. There is one of them smoking out here. Two of them are smoking now. Why they decide to evac by flying straight over the formation, it boggles the mind. There, we're going in again, boys. Why is the guy behind him shooting? At nothing. Oh. I think he, like, burned through his ammo before he actually even hit the damn thing. I think some of their destroyers, I think they've got, like, one class that would count as dual purpose. No. Oh, you're attacking 2 Wildcat? What the hell? How did that get set up? I had him targeting friendly fire. Maybe that's why he was shooting at his buddy. Well, I do love how loyal your crews are, though. Like, you tell them to shoot at their own men, and they'll just, no question about it, the game's just like, yep, yes, sir, we'll open fire. Alright, we lost our first Wildcat. Turn in, boys. You're drawing all the fire, so the other 2 aircraft should be able to come in unmolested. More or less. You're also not smoking yet, so you haven't taken any... Oh, well, you took some damage there. I could see the shells hit. I don't think you're going to do much damage to this guy. He's a fire, but... I'm not sure... I'm not sure that we're not wasting our time here. Hey, Wolfpack. Yeah, some of the lead Japanese, the furthest up the list Japanese destroyer does have dual purpose guns. If you go into the recognition manual and we go to, I'm not sure which one it is. Is it the Atazuki? If we go here and we click on the weapons platform here, we can see, oh, actually this one is not dual purpose. but yeah, there is a Shuro. One of them has dual-purpose guns. I know because when I was playing as the Japanese, I used them. Well, apparently none of them seem to want to have dual-purpose here. Yeah, here. So the Ekazuki class does have dual-purpose guns. Maybe she's the only one who does. But you can see it's here. It says dual-purpose, yes. All right, guys, you're going to go back in for at least one more strafe, just the 2 remaining Wildcats. Do it for your buddies. "100 knots, boys. Slow it down. Be more effective." Yeah, I mean, the slower and more fighters, that would make sense. They'd be more effective. Where's the other guy? Should be back over this way. Or this way. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's like barely moving. He's like just moving faster than the destroyers through the flak field. Don't worry though. You're taking fire. Oh no! Who would have thought 100 knots is a bad idea? Let's actually do this a little differently. Speed up. Get through that enemy field of fire. Then once you're actually in gun range, then we'll have you slow down. Alright, now slow down. Wolfpack is here. I know. We've got a celebrity in my chat. Looks like they put the fire out, by the way. What was your question? Moot Susan Pie? Oh, I don't know if you can turn tight enough to get there. Nope. You had like a 3-second burst. Speed on out of there. No. May you post an invite for an unofficial War on the Sea Discord? Isn't there an official War on the Sea Discord? Alright, so we lost all 4 aircraft. We did moderate damage to the lead destroyer. I really need to build an aircraft carrier or something right now, but I've got too many transports in flight, if you will. Alright, I don't know what our B-17s are being engaged with, but it looks like they're being told they have to fight. I do like one of the changes they made on the left side here where they have color-coded B-17, like, fighter groups option. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It's time. Go at 'em, boys. 2,000-pound bombs and submarines. That's like my favorite thing in this game, is to just mercilessly pound subs with B-17s. Do we want to speed up, too? That probably makes us less accurate, I would think. But I want to make sure we get there before he dives. So we'll try that. What type of sub is it, anyway? Is that a B1? Yeah, I can't even tell. I don't know offhand. I could look at the identification manual, but... Japan has 26 submarines, so you sink 26 of them and they're all gone. So far, I think we've sunk 14. Tortuga did a kamikaze attack with B-17s. Can you do that? I thought they're too low in the water. You can't collide with them. Its dive planes are angled down, so it's already preparing to dive. I wonder how much the extra speed is going to make us lose in terms of accuracy. He skip-bombed them? Did they get shot down then, Oak? Because I mean, even if you skip bomb at 60 feet, you won't I'm surprised he was able to get down to 60 feet before the sub submerged. Oh, I guess my... It's just funny to see these guys come in like almost parade formation here. But it's about to go under. You can see it getting lower in the water. Oh, I mean, I did that, Oak. I did that a while ago. Alright, so the sub is below the surface. The bombers are coming in here. We'll see how accurate their payloads are, coming in at 200 knots rather than 150. Bombs are falling. Alright, I think we definitely damaged it. I'm not sure we damaged it enough to sink it, though. Oh, you can definitely crash into ships. I've done that. So I think it's losing... I wish I could speed this up. I did skip bombing against an enemy cruiser force with B-17s, and we got lit up by their flak. We did do some damage, though, to... Or maybe there were cargo ships. I can't remember. But yeah, our B-17s didn't have a good day there. Can I please fast forward? Give me time compression. I'm just not sure. The hull is all pockmarked, but it may be, like, able to blow ballast. Well, you guys just like crashing ships into each other then. It doesn't really seem to be losing much depth. So maybe it wasn't too badly damaged. Maybe it's going down a little bit? It's hard to tell. I don't know why it won't let me compress time here. All my aircraft are off the map. It's gonna emergency blow, definitely. Alright, well, we'll just give it some time then. Usually it lets me skip ahead a little bit, which it's not. I mean, all my aircraft are off the map. Can a B-17 strafe a surface sub? No, Oak. My understanding is B-17s will only fire their machine guns in defense against enemy fighters. They won't actually fire their machine guns against enemy ships or targets on... Well, the only targets on the ground are ships, but... yeah, it won't do that. Oh, by the way, John Livewell, thank you for the follow 19 minutes ago. Think I might have missed you. And Rydog317, thank you for the follow. Yes, Scud, I've seen him go to crush depth as well. Why that? I still don't know why it's not letting me compress. Usually it does. It's still got propulsion. It's definitely headed down. Oh. Where did the sub disappeared? I think it went off the map. I'm not sure, given all my aircraft are off the map and the sub just went off the map. I guess we'll have to skip to the end. Heavy damage, moderate flooding. Okay, so at least I don't think it'll be doing any kind of work against us. We'll try and fly some aircraft, some Avengers up that way, see if we can't pick it off with some rockets. Alright. Let's go in, and hopefully it's not submerged. Sometimes when you engage an enemy sub really soon after you previously attacked it, it'll be submerged. And you won't actually be able to fight it. So let's see. Nope, it is not the case. So we are going to immediately order a rocket attack on this sub. I'm assuming this is the guy who's badly damaged. We'll speed these guys up so that they hopefully get there before the sub dives. This is the damaged sub. Maybe we should have gone with depth charges because it almost certainly would have dove. But we're pretty in close. We can see the sub off over here. The one thing I wish the aircraft did is rather than circle to lower their altitude, just gradually drop your altitude as you approach the target. Don't, like, stop advancing and fly in circles. I selected them all by the end, Ride Dog, and then told them to attack with the faster speed. Doesn't look like these guys did it. Usually if you select them all and then give them an order, they will listen. Doesn't even look like any of them listened. Alright, there's the enemy sub. Is it below the water yet? No. She's still cruising along. Why are they slowing down? I keep telling them to... Yeah, the way that the enemy just spawns cargo ships with unlimited resources is a little bit frustrating, to say the least. All right, here come the rocket boys. Nice. We got a nice little explosion there. It was diving right as it was getting hit, but it definitely took a direct hit. Oh, that's all pockmarked to hell. She's going down for sure. I don't even think she'll come up when she blows ballast. We saw at least 2 rockets hit her dead on the control tower. Yeah, she's sinking. And we just watch her go. She's not even level. She's just floundering all over. We'll watch her go down to crush depth and go boom. Yeah, Mitsu, it can get a little bit repetitive, to say the least. All right, so we sank the enemy sub. RTB, boys. Good job. Okay. Meanwhile, our Task Force 10. Let's bring you guys RTB. And then we're going to go ahead, and I should actually make sure they don't have any landing craft coming into Ranelli tonight. They might. Alright, we're going to release these ships. Two destroyers, 2 heavy cruisers, and 2 light cruisers up there. I'm not too worried about them. More worried about if they've got any transports. Looks like we're safe from transports tonight. So we'll wait till tomorrow once we get those battleships in, and then we'll build a new covering force for Renel. Yeah, what are the different mods do, Lake? I didn't even know there were a bunch of mods out already. these guys down here. All right. Release ships. Okay, so we're going to set up a new bombardment task force. I have 258 points, which is actually, even with all these ships on the field, I've got enough points to basically restart the campaign. So let's go ahead and do a new sea task force. The first task force we're going to build is going to be a bombardment task force. So we're going to go with the North Carolina, because she's pretty. Then we're going to go with one heavy cruiser of the Pensacola class. And then I think we'll go with maybe 3 destroyers. Alright, that's all the Farragut's, so we'll go with a Porter, which is also 6 points. So we'll put these guys in circular formation. The North Carolina and Pensacola will be 2 and 5. And then we'll have the Elwyn, the Dale, and the Porter at 1, 3, and 4. And we'll send these guys up to cover Rennell, but then they're also going to end up bombarding Guadalcanal eventually. And then I'm also going to create a new task force here, which is going to be a carrier task force, because I still have enough points to do that. So we're going to go ahead and do a Yorktown class, the Enterprise, the Mighty E, or the Big E. That gives us, we've got 40 some points left, so we'll go ahead and do an Atlanta class for some anti-aircraft support. So we'll do the San Diego. And then we will do 3 destroyers, I think, also of the Porter class, so if we do run into a battle, we've got some gunfire support. Actually, no. Screw that. Let's do, in case we run into enemy aircraft, let's do the Fletchers. The La Valette is going to have so many battle stars, by the way. She's been involved in all of our operations so far. So this task force is also of 5 ships, which seems like the perfect size for any sort of task force that you want to protect the core ships in the interior. So San Diego 2, we'll actually put San Diego at 5. We'll put Enterprise at 2. That way Enterprise has a ship on all sides. So Enterprise at 2, Destroyer Sully, La Valette, and Strong at 1, 3, and 4, and then the anti-aircraft cruiser San Diego at 5. We're going to send these guys up to Rennell as well, and they will screen Rennell from enemy warships as well. Okay. Ships are underway. We'll go times 1800 speed. This cruiser task force has just largely been sitting off Milne Bay, making sure they don't land anything and surprise us. Alright, so it's 5 a.m. Let's go ahead and get scout aircraft off. I generally just do scout aircraft once a day. Maybe I should do more, but... Alright, so these guys will go here. Wow, that's a long frickin' flight. They actually have pretty good range, just judging by this here. Okay. Right, I think that's a pretty good spread for recon. Meanwhile, we'll go ahead and send our Wildcats up. Okay. And then let's also send some B-17s up to do some ASW work out in front of our task forces. We'll go from there. All right, times 600 during the patrols. You can see the Wildcats obviously have much more speed than the Kingfishers. But nothing that we can find sort of in the West Solomon Sea. Meanwhile, toward the Central and East Solomon, no ships spotted there either. Kingfisher spotted enemy zeros, so we're going to have to get our Kingfisher shot up, which is going to suck. Can we just immediately evacuate? Alright, before the enemy zeros spot us, I'm going to retreat out of this combat area. Canadian 86, thank you very much for the follow. Foxy Mangaland 1987, thanks for the follow. Alright, meanwhile our first group of resupply is almost to Milne Bay. You can see the Japanese are fighting more efficiently than us, so they are kind of turning the tide on us a little bit, but so far so good. Flies 787, thank you for the follow. Okay. Alright, so an enemy float plane over one of our task forces here, our heavy resupply task force, which is presumably being sent out by an enemy sub. So we're going to go ahead and fly a Wildcat out that way and engage it, hopefully before they can get too much insight into our task force. And then we'll go ahead and fly these B-17s out this way as well to see if they can't detect the enemy sub. Right, let's go tactical. Hopefully the sub isn't around. Alright. We'll just use the first group of Wildcats. Any sign of enemy torpedoes? None that I can see. This is again the weird situation where we've got the smart situation with 3 merchants in the middle and the destroyers on the flank, but then we also have one random cargo ship here because yeah, I don't think the sub is in close yet. Okay. So the enemy float plane, she's a dual pontoon, which means I think she's from a sub. The single pontoons tend to be cruisers. Where is she? Oh, is that her right ahead? Straight ahead? Trying to tell the AI to fire on its own. Or fire because I told it to. I love how they always just fly right by the damn thing without actually doing much. Seems like their initial passes are always shit. Alright, so we'll bank back around and take this guy out. Then the sub should lose its eyes and ears. Although we may want to change course a little bit to throw the sub off a bit. Hell yeah, fire from 2 kilometers out, Canadian. Nah. Give me hits. You're so close. Just burn those barrels out, boys. Burn them out. There you go. You got him. You got him. Down she goes into the deep blue sea, flaming deep into the abyss. All right. So let's change our course a little bit. We're going to divert a little bit south. and then head back in. We're still about just shy of 2 days out. All right, let's do one more patrol for the day. We'll fly these guys out this way. Okay. All right, I think we've got a pretty good coverage with float planes in the Solomon Sea. These guys are flying back, so they've still got quite a bit of range. So let's go scout out east or west of Rennell. Meanwhile, the Enterprise, let's go ahead and send, we'll just send two Dauntlesses up to do some patrols. These guys have some pretty wicked range, by the way. Almost 400 nautical miles on the Dauntlesses. And then we'll do some patrols off the North Carolina with her Kingfishers. Let's get going. Enemy sub detected here. I don't know if we'll be able to get in on them before they dive. 450. We can get our B-17s out that way. Have our Wildcats sit on top of them till the B-17s arrive. Enemy fighters spotted over Rennell. Enemy warships detected. 1 battleship, 1 heavy cruiser, 2 destroyers detected by our Dauntlesses out east. I don't want to get my Dauntlesses shot to pieces, so I'm going to order them to maintain course. Meanwhile, I'm going to have my Enterprise launch some Avengers armed with torpedoes out to go engage these guys. And I'm going to order my battleships to turn north, because who doesn't want a battleship engagement? Jimmo Soul, thank you for the follow. B-17s, do they have the range to get up there? They do. But I want to protect my cargo ships, so we're gonna keep the B-17s headed toward the sub. So ignore that for now. Is it Yamato? Don't spoil anything now. Meanwhile, 3 enemy destroyers out to the west here. Part of me just wants to run my cruiser task force out and engage them, but it's not really a threat to Milne Bay, so I'll leave them where they are for now. Alright, are these guys out of fuel? They are. So let's go ahead and get the rest of the Dauntlesses up. We'll go dive bomb these guys. You're going to fly west and engage these guys. Barak, yeah, new-ish. I think it came out about a month ago now. XB442, thank you very much for the follow. Alright. Time to jump into the tactical world. We probably could have waited for the Dauntlesses. I think my Avengers would have had enough fuel, but moot point now. What time is it? Oh, it's almost night, too. Alright. Pause. So we've detected the enemy task force. What do we got? Oh boy, guys. It is the Yamato. Or the Musashi. And with that being said, I think this is as good a spot as any to go ahead and wrap this episode up. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope you stay tuned for our next episode when we launch our attack on the Yamato. We've previously damaged the Yamato, or at least the Musashi, one of the Yamato classes, in the attack on Port Moresby. It's been a little while since we've seen the last Yamato, and so we'll see if this Yamato class is something we can take out or not. It is getting dark. It is nighttime, if you will. So we'll see if we're able to do enough damage, or if we can hunt this guy down and finish this guy off. We have a much greater strength with us this time than last time. So with that being said, guys, we'll see how this plays out in our next episode. Until our next episode, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out. Bye-bye.